going to start off with being a little bit honest and saying, honestly, I don't completely know what this means. But in a vote in the UK for whether to stay in the European Union or leave the European Union, the leave vote won. And a lot of people are losing their minds. And the markets are going crazy. And the pound is cratering. And all these terrible things happening. Oh, we're all losing our minds. And what's actually going to happen? Look, to be honest, nobody knows long term exactly what's going to happen. Short term, there's not going to be any difference because it is actually going to take a while to separate the UK from the European Union. Even though the European Union have said, okay, you know what, you don't like us? Fuck you guys, get out really quickly. It's actually going to take a while. And there are all sorts of weird complications, not least Scotland and Northern Ireland voted overwhelmingly to stay in the EU, but England voted the other way. So they're like saying, basically Scotland saying, let's secede from England. And Northern Ireland's going, yeah, let's just reunite Ireland and let's have Ireland and Scotland completely separate from England, and we want to rejoin the European Union. That opens the door for some really weird shit over the coming years. I mean, honestly, it was kind of funny that David Cameron, the old pig fucker, is basically saying, okay, I'm going to step down as England's Prime Minister. And for people who were opposed to the Leave vote and who also hated David Cameron, who was in favour of the Stay vote, it's really weird because a lot of those people would have liked to have rejoiced in David Cameron resigning as PM in shame, and they can't because the Leave vote came in. It's very complicated. It's not simple, this whole shenanigans. And a lot of people are pitching once David Cameron eventually goes as England PM, one of the more likely replacements is Boris Johnson, which is fucking weird if you've been looking at England politics at all. It's weird how much Boris Johnson and Donald Trump belong together. Be weird if Trump ends up winning the US presidential election. The special relationship would be all kinds of special if it was between Boris and the Donald. That would be the short bus version of special, quite honestly. But I think what's important when you look at the stories like the pound is cratering, had its worst day in history, which is pretty fucking significant, and people say, oh no, 350 billion pounds of wealth has been stripped from the UK. That's imaginary, okay? One hopefully good thing this vote reveals to people, if people can fucking stop and look for a second, the markets, the stock market, international trade, that shit is fucking imaginary. Because this concept of 350 billion pounds of wealth has been stripped from the UK. Nobody, Joker style, built a whole pile of money and set it on fire, okay? The whole thing about the value of currency and international markets and the stock exchange, that's just a consensual hallucination, to quote William Gibson, the cyberpunk author. It's not real, okay? It's as real as we allow it to be. And look, medium to long term, this vote, I don't know how much difference it would make. On a long enough timeline, whatever decision happens, this shit all evens out. So I don't know. Short term, it looks catastrophic and chaotic. And seriously, if you sold stocks or a position on the pound sterling based on this, and you would have lost everything, and you fucking deserve it, because that's stupid. Anyone who converts on paper losses to actual real losses deserves what happens to them. Look, I have friends in the UK who were on both sides of the vote. Friends who wanted to stay, friends who wanted to leave. Look, honestly, in my cursory evaluation of the whole thing, I would have been on the stay side. But it's not like 100% thing. I will come straight out and say it's not like the European Union is an unalloyed good. Like, it's a huge fucking trade-off, quite honestly. And some people who aren't hideous racist fucks had a very good reason, or a succession of good reasons, for saying, no, we should not be part of the European Union. It's just freaky that the loudest voices who think a vote for England to leave the European Union, the loudest voices are universally ultra right-wing, nationalist, racist fucking shitstains. And not just in England, also off in Europe, people in Europe are saying, yeah, this is a good thing. It's awful, horrible people. But not everyone who voted or supported the leave vote is a horrible person, okay? That's just really shallow to say that. But, yeah, seeing nasty fucking dumpster fires like Nigel Farage going, oh, it's great, it's awesome, it's wonderful. No, those people, UKIP and all that mob, are fucking evil scum. Not everyone who voted to leave the EU is scum. That you can make a very solid case for leaving. But fuck it, man. I'm actually planning on a trip to the UK like the second half of August this year. And if the pound stays in the fucking shitter like it is now, that will make my holiday cheaper. I don't wish to suggest that I only look out for my own interests, but if this whole farrago makes my holiday cheaper, fucking yay! Okay, so yes, if you are a friend of mine who lives in the British Isles, over the coming month, I will hope to actually catch up with you. I'm going to Mrs. Angry's brother is getting remarried. This will be in England. I am hoping to catch up with a couple of friends who live in England. I am hoping to go to Ireland for the first time because I've never been to Ireland and I have a couple of friends in Ireland. But yeah, speaking of friends in England, my friend Frank, who's a skin, who is a conservative. This is what I love about the internet. You can make friends who on the surface are politically the opposite of you, but are open to people who simply speak their mind and whatnot. And Frank, who was voting for leave the EU, I love one of the little gems of wisdom he shared out. It's like, hey, if you voted Remain and you feel like you lost out, take consolation in the fact the fuckwits who voted leave, who were actually racist, worthless shitbags, they're going to have to face the fact that despite the fact the leave vote won, it's not going to affect immigration at all. People aren't going to be deported. People like Nigel Farage fucking lied to you. And hilariously, almost within seconds of, hey, look, the leave vote won, Farage said one of the big things the leave voters said, like, hey, if we weren't paying fees to the EU, we could spend that money here in England. Like, hey, that'd be like £350 million a week on the National Health Service. And he's come almost straight away and said, yeah, that's not a thing that's going to happen. So basically, people like Farage, UKIP, the politically motivated people, they're worthless fucking lying scum. A lot of people who voted to leave are decent people with integrity. like I said, I probably wouldn't have voted that way myself if I was even in the realm where I got to vote. But it's, look, honestly, somewhere in the next 5 to 100 years, it's all gonna even out. So either it won't be that big a deal and things will level out, or it will be a pretty good deal and the English economy will collapse completely and it'll become a fucking third world country and it'll take them, I don't know, centuries to recover. Or it won't! Who fucking knows? Because honestly, at this point, anyone who says they know what's going to happen is full of shit. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. I upload regularly, so make sure you're subscribed if you're not already, so you don't miss out. And if you like what I do and want to help me out, best thing you can do, share on social media. Tell your friends what they're missing out of. And hey, check my links below and you can follow me on social media as well. I've got a huge back catalogue, so stay around. There's plenty more to watch. Here's a couple of suggestions.